Welcome to bonus video 2. Hi, my name is Darren Tay, and in this bonus video, I'll be sharing with you how you can answer the interview question. Share with me what are some of your productivity hacks. Share with me how you manage your time effectively. Share with me how you become more productive as an individual. So in this video, we'll be sharing with you the skills as well as the techniques on how to tackle this. Because when it comes to an interview, the interviewer, they're not just looking out for hard skills. They're looking out for soft skills. Whether or not you are able to effectively manage your time. You see, time is one thing where every individual has the same amount of each day. Whether you are rich, whether you are not rich, whether you are very intelligent or otherwise, you only have 24 hours. Yeah, whether you have the resources or you don't really have that much resources, you only have 24 hours. So if everyone only has 24 hours, how do you manage that 24 hours effectively? And that's what they're getting at, how you manage your time. Now, in answering this question, here are 3 things that I'd like to share with you. If you share with them, I'm someone who is able to manage my time effectively, you have to prove it. It is one thing to claim, it's another to be able to prove. So how do you show? And if they ask you, how do you manage your time? What are some of the things you can mention? Number 1, you can share with us that you come up with a very effective way of scheduling your task. So scheduling is effective and important. Why? Because it helps to break big goals or a big long timeline into smaller individual ones. So for example, if let's say it's a project that's going to last 1 year, you can split it into each of the smaller checkpoints after each month. It's the same thing with weight loss. If I say I'm going to lose 10 kilograms by the end of the year, now it's January, end of the year, December, I'm going to lose 10 kilograms. But because it's so long, it's very hard for us to track. Sometimes we may lose sight of the goal. Yeah, and people may wonder why at the end of the year, I still don't lose 10 kilograms or worse, I may even gain 10 kilograms. So how do you go about doing that? You break it down into smaller goals. For example, maybe I will lose 900 grams every single month, eventually leading up to the 10 kilograms or the 11 kilograms at the end of the year. So having a daily schedule, daily checkpoints, that's going to be effective. So that's one in how you manage your time. Second strategy about managing your time is what we call prioritization. You see, prioritization isn't just about splitting into smaller goals. It's about perhaps for that particular day, these are the items, these are the tasks on my agenda. Which ones are the ones that I need to prioritize to complete first? Most people would complete the more urgent ones, they may complete the more complex ones, or they may complete the ones that really require quite a number of individuals. So I would say prioritization is just as important as splitting a big long-term goal into smaller individual checkpoints. So prioritizing what is important. And how do we prioritize? It could be prioritizing based on the manpower resources required, how many people are involved. Second one would be based on how tight the timeline is, when are you required to submit, and of course based on the complexity of the task. After that, the third strategy is buffering. What exactly is buffering? Buffering means that we always add in a safe buffer just in case at the last minute we may require a little bit more time to treat it or to fine-tune it. Say, for example, running a national public speaking competition. By the day before the grand finals, for example, we need to have all the things, the briefing videos, the logistics, and all the emails, the admin sorted out. However, instead of just waiting till the day before, what we could do is that we could add in a buffer, perhaps 1 or 2 days. So perhaps 1 or 2 days prior to the penultimate day, you will need to have all these things done already, such that in case there are certain things that you've missed out and you need to go and grab them, or there may be a sudden need to change a vendor. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but if it were to happen, you know what you can do, and then you have that 1 or 2 days to firefight. So that is buffering. Now the last strategy is what we call delegating. Delegating means that you do not just complete the task all on your own. What you will do is you will split it into perhaps 3 to 4 sections, and then empowering other individuals who are perhaps more talented than you in some of these areas to take on each of those sections or segments. Take, for example, shooting this particular video. Now, for me, I know my subject matter expertise perhaps is in terms of researching, in terms of packaging, in terms of structuring, and in delivering the training techniques. But my expertise is definitely not in the video recording, in the video editing, in the production, pre or post. That's why we are able to delegate to some of our staff who are well-versed in this particular area. If everything you try and do it on your own, you find that not only do you take a longer period of time, but it's going to be very taxing on you as the individual. So one great thing about time management is not to try and do everything yourself, to try and make sure that, oh, I will try and complete it. Trust in the expertise and in the talents of the people in your team, and then delegate suitably to your team members so that you'll be able to accomplish it within a much shorter period of time. And in the business circuit, we call this leveraging. Leveraging on the time, the resources, and the expertise of others. That's why you see some companies, they would rather spend money to get a digital marketer to run ads and launch marketing campaigns for them instead of they themselves trying to do it. Why? Because those people have tried and tested. They also serve other vendors. They'll be able to do it way more effectively than you trying to do what we call A/B testing, and then to find out what works and what may not work. It's compared to going to a professional digital marketing agency. And of course, in doing so, you're using money to buy someone else's time. You're using money to buy someone else's expertise. And that is oftentimes very helpful if your time, you're able to generate even more income. One good example that we often use is this. If it is something where, if you have to do it yourself, and that takes up, say, 1 or 2 hours, as compared to hiring someone for 1 or 2 hours, you just have to measure the cost. If you were to hire someone, what's the cost as compared to you doing it yourself? If you were to free up that 1 or 2 hours, how much more revenue can you bring in? And if that outweighs that of the cost, certainly it would make a lot of sense for you to do so. So those are the techniques and strategies that you can share whenever you get asked the question, how do you manage your time?